Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. On today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the altcoins that are available on Robinhood. There's about a dozen of them. I did a video just yesterday about the altcoins available on Coinbase, and today we're going to take a look at all the coins on Robinhood. Today, fear and greed for crypto is at 80, and we are at yearly highs for fear and greed. We have not been this high in greed since the very top was put in on Bitcoin in November of 2021. And as you can see, we've been in an uptrend from fear to greed since way back here in May of 22. Now, that wasn't the true bottom. The true bottom was in November of 2022. So sometimes this can be an indicator that's spot on, one-to-one correlated with price. Like back here, that was the mid-cycle top. And sometimes it can be a front-running indicator telling us what's possibly going to happen down the road. So let's take a look at those altcoins or all the coins. And first up is Bitcoin. I'm just going to do real quick synopsis on Bitcoin here. Bitcoin has shot up since just a couple days ago on Monday, and we went from around 51,000, gained nearly $13,000 to get up to dang near 64,000. Maybe we touched over it, but right now we're just chopping around a little bit at around 61 and a half. And Bitcoin for the last year, man, it's just been ripping up. Something to note is that Bitcoin over the last year, it has had, since the bottom, 4 of these 20% drops. All of these are around 20% right there, as you can see, even from the top here to down here. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 really good weekly buy signals. If you've bought any of those have been really good. So if you want to be patient on crypto and in Bitcoin, possibly wait for one of those weekly buy signals. This is the indicator, 10-20 moving average crossover with Heikin-Ashi signals. Something else to note is on the weekly, as you can see here, the RSI, it is just going up. It is no longer in a downtrend, so we do not have higher price, lower relative strength. So it is not bearish divergence. It is just straight macro bullish. And something else to keep in mind, if we look on the RSI, when we have these cycles for Bitcoin, something else to note here, we're on the monthly right now. How many times does it peak or get overbought on the RSI on the monthly? It only goes over when we are creating new highs. Here it peaked over a little bit. And what's something to know about this right here, we got close to all-time highs, but did not pass it. So we had a little bit of a fake out there. Here we went over into all-time highs. That was 2017. 2019, we got close to going over. We didn't. That was that mid-cycle top that I've been wondering if we were going to have. And then last time, of course, we went over for the first wave. This was truly the time to sell many of your alts in Bitcoin. Yes, we got over here. This is where we made the ultimate top. We are overbought on the monthly, so take your bets. Are we at a mid-cycle top? We've had 2 instances of that. Or are we going to new all-time highs and a blow-off top? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instances of that. So right now, we're batting 1 out of 3 for just a fake out if we are to get a bigger correction. Let's say we are going to new all-time highs. At the very least, what you could wait for is just possibly a weekly sell signal and then buy into the weekly buy signal if you're worried I'm missing out. Let's get into the rest of the altcoins on Robinhood. We have Ethereum. And Ethereum, you can see right here, we just keep going a little bit higher each time. And at least on this fib here that I've drawn, really for the last year. And sorry, you can probably hear my voice. I'm a little bit sick. So doing the best I can for you guys. Ethereum, we just keep creating new all-time highs here, or not all-time highs, sorry, yearly highs. As far as all-time high on Ethereum, we would still need to get somewhere close to 5,000. So something to keep in mind is its market cap. Ethereum has a $400 billion market cap. Right now, Bitcoin, I believe, is over a trillion. Yeah, it's 1.21 trillion. So let's say you believe Ethereum in the next 4-year bull cycle. As you can see here, we have these 4-year cycles where Bitcoin goes up quite a bit. And right here, we're kind of in the middle. Let's say you believe Ethereum can have a $1.5 trillion market cap. Where would that be? Well, that would be around a 3.5x from where the price is right now. So that would put us around 10,000. That's a common prediction I'm seeing for Ethereum. So right here, nothing really to see on the fib other than maybe you can think about if we did have a sell-off, here might be some price targets to go to around 30.51, 27.59, so on. So you can just draw from the most recent low to high, and oftentimes prices will tag those targets. At the lowest, I would say somewhere around the 0.5 to 618 if we did get a big sell-off, but I don't think that's going to happen unless something like the SPY and the regular markets in March have a pretty big sell-off too. So Ethereum looking bullish. Next, let's go to Doge. I know Doge has been making some moves lately. Look at this. It got as high as 13.5 cents. So Doge making moves. Overall, Doge back here got to around 74 cents. That's when Doge had a $100 billion market cap. And so right now, let me pull up coin market cap on my phone, make sure I get the market cap correct for you. Doge's market cap is right under 19 billion right now. So if you believe Doge could return to its all-time highs, that's a 5x. So let's say you're trying to be safer in your crypto investments and you're thinking that, you know what, I believe that Bitcoin and crypto is going to return to previous all-time highs, if not higher. I think Doge is a safe play, and at the very least will visit its all-time highs. Maybe it'll go a little higher. All I'm looking for is a 5x for a lot of money. And then sure, you could take a look at Ethereum or Doge. They're not going to get you as many multiples as some of the other altcoins out there with lower market caps. However, they may be safer bets. Now, Ethereum to me is a safer bet than Doge. I rather take a 3x in Ethereum than a maybe 5x in Doge. And the reason why is just utility purposes. Ethereum is used for a lot of transactions in crypto. Right now, Doge, last I've understood it, it's still an inflationary crypto, so they can print more of it when they need. And also, it doesn't have utility as far as I know on X yet. There are rumors that Elon would use Doge for payments on X. I don't know if that's ever going to go true. I'm sure if Elon tweeted once about it, we'll see this thing skyrocket. So there's always the Elon factor. However, Doge, man, if you bought it back here when it was at a fifth of a cent before 2020, if not lower, you'd probably be a millionaire if you sold in here. So Doge, could it get back to former all-time highs in another 4-year cycle? Sure. I would say $1 is probably the safest bet on Doge. But as far as right now, is it a good time to buy? Well, we ran up. So I would say be patient. You can see here that after maybe these are 1 to 2 months of positive price action, that we do tend to correct and go down. Is it going to be shorter or longer? Who knows? Some of these were barely even a month, and we already had a strong move. So maybe next week won't be as strong. I don't know, but that would be my guess. Then maybe things would correct back down here. If I had to guess, just by the strength and the pullback of these moves, maybe you could look for it back at around 10 cents if you're willing to be patient. Next, let's take a look at Link. And I talk about the top 10 altcoins available on Coinbase. So many of these I've already just talked about. I'm going to try to fly through these as quick as I can so we can get to the ones exclusive to Robinhood, or the ones that I haven't talked about in the Coinbase video. So Link, in the last year, again, we're at a yearly high. We chopped around here for 3 months. No sell or buy signals yet. So I wouldn't buy in yet. This was the time to get in. Time in the market's more important than timing the market. In here, we had accumulation. We had monthly buy signals. Here, we're on the weekly. We had a lot of sell and buy signals, accumulation. As it got close to this lower moving average, you'll see this happen a lot on the bull market support band and this 20 MA, that as it gets close, an asset, whether stock or crypto, will decide what to do. It's either going to fly up off of it or it's going to crash down underneath it. So this still looks like it has a lot of strength. Link, my best case scenario, again, if we get another 4-year cycle where Bitcoin goes to something crazy like 150 to 200,000, Link, I could see it maybe getting up to around the $200 range, which would be around a 10x from here. So I like Link a lot. I think it's one of the stronger altcoins, and I believe its market cap is about, 11 to 12 billion. So then you would be believing it could be over 100 billion. And I find Link to have way more utility than Doge. So I think Link and Sol, two of these stronger available altcoins that you can get into. Excuse me. AVAX. AVAX, I would put just a tier underneath Link and Sol. Another very good altcoin. And here, as you can see, if you got anywhere down here, you're doing pretty well. Now, we had this sell and buy signal, and we're still within this range, kind of at the upper end. So if you believe AVAX is about to have a strong move like many other altcoins, then now isn't the worst time to dollar cost average in. It is on this upper fib. That is the 236 as I have it drawn out here. But you can see this 10 curling over. So I'm wondering if maybe it's going to touch down here at the 382 at around 34. But again, if you really like AVAX, you did your research, you want to get in on it now, okay, I get it. If we go back to the prior highs, AVAX got as high as around 125, maybe up here to 145. So maybe you believe AVAX can do at least a 3x from here. Not the worst spot to put in. Who knows? Maybe it'll do better. As far as market cap, does it show it on here? No. Let me look that up for you really quick. AVAX's market cap is, it's the number 10 most popular crypto, by the way, or ranked crypto. Its market cap is 15.6 billion. So if you believe AVAX can be $150 billion crypto, then you could say you believe it would 10x. Maybe you only believe that it can get to around 100 billion, and so that'd be around a 6x or so from here. But yeah, that's AVAX for you. And let's move on to next one is Litecoin. I drank so much tea today to try to make my voice okay. For those of you who don't know, if you're wondering why does this guy think he can have a channel titled Market Psychology, guys, that's the field I work in. I have a lot of knowledge, experience, wisdom, certification in the field of psychology. I've used psychology to my own benefits when investing, and it's worked out for me very well in stocks and crypto. When there's a lot of fear in the markets, that's when I get excited about getting in. And I also couple that with my own personal research when I'm looking in the stocks or crypto, and I take a look at some light technical analysis. So trying to use some psychology to help you guys take a different perspective on the markets, as well as just try to maximize our value that we get from our investments. So anyways, to Litecoin, I drew this wedge pattern. I know the price got way higher than this is really reflecting. If you believe, excuse me, if you believe that Litecoin can get up to around this 400 range, then it's not the worst right now. That would be about a 5x from here. And Litecoin, overall for market cap is, it's the number 19 overall crypto. Its market cap is 6 billion. So not too bad. And if you believe Litecoin could get to 100 billion, that would be about a 16x from right now. So if we just did, or a 16.6x, if we did that times the price right now, we're talking about Litecoin going to 1400, close to that. Now the highest it's ever been is 400, and during the last bull run, I will say, you can see here was the prior one here, the last bull run, which got a lot higher. Here the peak was 20,000 for Bitcoin. Here the peak was around 69,000. Litecoin didn't get much higher than the prior bull run. So a lot of people were disappointed in it. Now, could crypto assets or altcoins such as Litecoin and XRP, are they done? Could they possibly be sneaky plays? They could. I don't have the same amount of confidence personally in Litecoin or XRP as I would a Litecoin or some other cryptos that are out there. So do your own research. But hey, if you like Litecoin, this is not the worst area, technically speaking, to get in. It has yet to make a very strong move. If we just look at the last year, you can see like crypto overall has been doing in the last week. It has made a strong move from 70 up to this low 80s right here, got as high as 85. So I have been talking about Litecoin, how it's been slowly grinding up this trend line, and as it's near the trend line, it's a good spot to buy. So maybe Litecoin could be one of those sneaky plays. Maybe you're just looking for a safe 4 or 5x. I think you could get that from Litecoin. Could you get a 10, 15x out of it? I don't feel as confident, but yeah, that's up to you to decide. I try not to insert my bias too much into these videos because part of market psychology is we have to be open-minded and challenge our perspective on things that we believe to be true. So I am only going by 2 prior data points to believe that, maybe Litecoin isn't going to do that much greater. However, maybe some bit of information comes along to show us otherwise. And we have to be willing to be open-minded to that. And like the work I do in my field of psychology, one of the things I talk with people about is how to view people who have had issues with unconditional positive regard. And that's hard to do sometimes when people have done very bad things. Similarly, when we have cryptos that maybe haven't been something we've liked as much, we have to check where our bias is and see if we can look at some of the positives to try to challenge our bias. And that's all I'm trying to teach you guys how to do here is when you have a bias, take a moment to reflect upon that and ask yourself, why is that? And are you being open to looking at alternative bits of information? Sorry, soapbox moment here. Anytime you're ready to cast aside a possible crypto, maybe take an extra few moments to look into it and make sure that you are confident in doing that. Because guys, like I talked to y'all about Doge, I had one of those bias moments on Doge in 2017. I laughed it off, and had I not laughed it off, I possibly could have put some money in the Doge and made a lot out of it. So that's all I'm saying. Crypto is a good place to check your biases. So let's go to SHIB. I've heard it has had some good moves lately. Oh yeah, you can see from the last. So SHIB and Doge look very similar. And as you can see here, the last week, my God, we've gotten up to, 4 zeros. And right now it's at 4 zeros and 12, but it's at 4 zeros and near 15 up there. And if we back way up and go to where the all-time highs were, it's about 4 zeros and high 8s. So maybe you believe SHIB can do at least a 7, 8x from here. And as far as SHIB's market cap, where is it market cap wise? Well, it's the number 16 overall crypto, and its market cap is 7.43 billion. So if you believe it can do a 7x, that's about 50 billion. I'd say that's a fair target. Maybe you believe it can go higher. As far as what I know about SHIB, it's just a meme coin. I haven't heard too much about any strong utility in comparison to any other altcoins that are unique or do have utility. So yeah, if last bull run that we had, we did have dog meme coins running up here, SHIB and Doge. People have joked about maybe frog meme coins, and others will be the ones this time around. Things like Pepe, Bonk is one that recently got listed on Coinbase. Bonk is another meme coin. I think it's a duck or something. I'm not sure. We could take a look at that at the end though. So SHIB, as far as it's where it is right now, again, same analysis as I gave you before. Me personally, I wouldn't buy it here, even if this was my favorite altcoin. If it was, I would have been buying in when we got these weekly buy signals at the very least. I take a look at monthly buy signals first on things I like, and I take a look at weekly. And you had opportunities back here. And so would I be buying SHIB right now? No, but I would wait for a sell signal to play out and then get the next weekly buy signal. And where might that be on the fibs? Maybe it'll be up here at the 4 zeros and the 11s, or possibly down here at the 4 zeros and the 10. So let's move on. The next one, Uni. I believe it's Uniswap. So is this the one I was looking at? I thought I had a chart drawn up on one of them. It's probably the Binance one. Maybe not. But Uni, either way, this looks a lot like SHIB and Doge. Very similar structure. And if we are to draw a fib, just from the most recent major low to high, yeah, quite a move. This buy signal, dang, when we got near that 20 MA, again, it decided to go bullish, and we went from 6 up to 13, so we doubled, and right now we're at 11, so we're resting near this 236. Maybe if some weakness were to come through, you might wait for around this 382 at the 936 to buy in. So yeah, as you've seen before, we can move down decently a couple fib ranges. So I would be patient, wait for a sell signal play out. That's just me. That way you're not chasing, and that would be, if we do get a sell signal sometime soon, I would wonder if we could get a better deal around $9 in that range. Next, let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash. Bcash. All right, so Bitcoin Cash, we've had all these things making parabolic moves. Bitcoin Cash has not. And it had this recent high in June of 23. Looks like it's about to make a new, at least yearly high. It's gotten close. A lot of accumulation. Bitcoin Cash, this is one that's, I haven't heard it been talked about in a while. If you believe it could get to prior all-time highs around 1,600, you believe it could do a 5x. Guys, got to be honest with you. When it comes to some of the older altcoins like Cardano, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, others, there are some that people still talk about a lot, that they still have a lot of faith in those projects. I hear that especially with XRP. I don't know if that hope is going to come true or not. However, Bitcoin Cash is one of those older altcoins I don't hear as much about anymore. So if you are doing your research and you really like Bitcoin Cash, bull mindset wise, you could say, you know what, we had a lot of accumulation. We have not ripped up yet. And maybe I have one more moment to get in. Sure. Again, I like to wait for the buy signals. I watch the handful of cryptos I'm in like a hawk every week. And when I get these signals, I jump on them. If it's one I'm into, and if I believe I'm not reaching for it. So right here, I do think you could have been reaching, and however, maybe you weren't paying attention the last month. I don't think it's the worst spot to get in, but at the same time, this is my personal bias. I'm not as big on Bitcoin Cash. So do your own research. If you do like it, then I don't think it's the worst spot to dollar cost average in if you're worried about missing out. Next, let's take a look at Ethereum Classic. This is another one of those old coins. And very similarly, well, this one made a recent top in January, and it's just trending up. So I do like how it's grinding up, and it's not even getting under this moving average, really, the 10. And once it got down to the 20, it had a buy on the weekly because of that, because it got down so low, and it does have the strong trend. So this thing just keeps grinding up. And it's always nice to see an asset, whether a stock or a crypto, have this sort of formation. To me, this is healthier than this. So Ethereum Classic, at least on the chart, overall looking good. And as far as accumulation, I don't think the worst time to buy. However, you could have bought down here if you're following it. So we are around 30. The highest Ethereum Classic ever got, if you're able to catch it out up there, that was around a 6x near 180. Again, I'd put this in the Bitcoin Cash category. Could it get up there? Sure, maybe. I don't know as much about it. I'm going to leave research to you guys because I cannot research all 1,000, 10,000 altcoins out there. So research it. And if you like it, I don't think it's the worst spot. I think it has a healthy looking chart, grinding up. We are in the overbought zone. We are getting to new highs, at least ever since September of 22. So, yeah, if you believe Bitcoin is going to go into all-time highs, maybe get above 100,000, all that, I don't think this is the worst spot for Ethereum Classic. Just a few more. XLM, Stellar Lumens, XTZ, AAVE, and Comp. Stellar Lumens. Which one do we want to look at here? All right, this one. So Stellar Lumens, a lot weaker of looking of a chart. And this one, what does this remind you of? Maybe a little bit of Litecoin. How Litecoin in 2018, this only is showing in April. I wonder if there's another chart because I'm sure XLM topped out, yeah, in January. So right there, you can see the market cap. We're just looking at market cap here. It was very similar to what it did in 21. So kind of reminds you of Litecoin a little bit in that way. And right now, we're at this $3 billion market cap. And maybe, again, you're thinking it could do a 5 or 6x. I think that would be safe to say. Now, I'm not as big on Stellar Lumens. Again, I haven't heard as much about any future going utility that's really strong for it. So do your own research. I'm not as excited about Stellar Lumens. However, you can see the chart does tend to have this repetitious pattern. So maybe you're just looking for a safe 3-4x. Sure, I could see it with Stellar Lumens. As far as any immediate price that we can look at, yeah, the other charts that are up here, guys, those charts show me more strength, that more people are into them, believing in them. But maybe over here we found one that hasn't ran yet. Crypto has this phenomenon too, where sometimes there's altcoins just waiting to run, and when they run, they do so explosively. So maybe it's still a good time to get in on Stellar Lumens. We did recently have a buy signal around 11. We're only at 12. So if you research Stellar Lumens, you really like it, I don't think it's the worst time to buy. 3 more. XTZ. Cool. Well, XTZ, look at that, creating a new recent high. Got up to $1.33 in the last year. You can see that as we've been accumulating, we chopped down to these lows here, and this was in October, and we've been going up ever since. So similar to, I believe that's Ethereum Classic, as strong of a chart. Most recent buy signal is here at around 10 or a buck here. So if you're able to get in on one of those buy signals, congrats. As far as highs, look at that, around $8, $9. So maybe you believe this can do an 8x. If you do, not the worst time to get in. Do your own research, take your own risks. If you're waiting for another sell signal and a pullback, you can see, man, look at these dojis and the range on them, how many fibs they cross. So it looks like you have to act quick. So if there was a sell signal to happen in the next week or so, maybe you could catch something around that buck, that $1 range again. Let's go to AVE, and then we'll go to comp, and I won't forget about bonk. So AVE, no new highs yet. We had this buy signal at the 0.5 at around 89. Right now we're at 108, so we're getting near this 236. So overall, look at this. We had a little fake out under the 20. We've gotten back up. So again, not as strong looking of a chart, but if this is to go up like many other cryptos, you'd be looking at around a 5 or 6x near the top. And again, with crypto, something for any new crypto people to know about. I was in these bull markets here. This is honest to God what happened for 90% of the altcoins, at least the ones I saw. There were some exceptions in here, but I'm talking about in here. When some of these late altcoins ran, you wanted to sell before the top. If you did not sell after the top, now here we had a week after. Here, if you didn't sell by the time we rolled over, same thing. Some altcoins did top in here. Okay, that is true. However, for many of them, if you did not sell in here, by the time Bitcoin rolled over, and Bitcoin, it took about a week after the top. It was January 8th of 2017. It was like a week or two after the very top when altcoins decided to dump too. And altcoins dumped hard. I mean, very hard. Prices you got altcoins in down here or here were all of a sudden lower, even though Bitcoin was up here and falling. So sell your altcoins into the pump, most likely. Again, if we had a double top, that would be bad advice on some of them. And for the most part, as we look at some of these strong cap altcoins, you would be looking for a 5 to 10x profit. If you get that, you can sell and never look back. Not financial advice, maybe it'll go higher. I'm just saying what I've seen these last 2 times. Large caps, you can take a 5 to 10x, never look back, forget about it. Some of the lower caps, maybe you're looking at 10 to a 20x. Maybe some very small cap shit coins, you're saying, hey, let it ride. If it gets me a 50x, cool, I'm good. You have to be ready to sell, because if you don't, trust me, if you're at a 50x, it can quickly turn into only a 10x. Not bad, but again, if you're looking for a home run, how much is good enough? All I'm saying is when they go, you have maybe a month, maybe, at those peak prices to sell before they tank. So I know it feels good to look at your Coinbase or Robinhood wallet and see some crazy price, and you're like, wow, this altcoin did a 20x. Not a bad time to take profits. Could it go higher? Sure. But I'm telling you this now, you have to have an exit plan, and you have to be okay with the 20x, because these last times, the price did not last forever. It was very short-lived. When your shitcoins run, take the profits. That's not financial advice. That's all I'm going to say. So if this goes up, take the profits. Maybe you'll do a 5, 6x. Let's go to the last one, comp. And I did say we'd take a look at bonk because it's a meme coin and we want to be open-minded. Comp. So here we go. Here's another one. A lot of coins this week. We have Bitcoin jumping up. What did I say? 14,000? Crazy. We had a little bit of accumulation in here on comp at around 54. And man, we did dang near a 2x. So I do think you'd be reaching here. It's resting at this price, the former top back here. If you're willing to be patient, wait for a sell signal to play out and then a buy. If we were to get a sell signal to play out, I would look for price to settle in at around, I'm just looking here. You can see how after we made new highs, we still went down a few fib levels to kind of the center of them. So maybe after this comes back down, we could possibly see it come back to like 63 or so. It depends how much higher this is going to keep going. So, me personally, even if this is a coin I love, even if this is one of my top altcoins, I am waiting for the next sell signal to play out. I am waiting for the next buy signal. And then I'm thinking, do I like this price? If you don't, then you shouldn't be getting in it even when it gets higher and does the same thing. But if you love the altcoin and you take a look back and you're like, you know what? I believe this thing can do a 10x, 8, 9, 10x. I'm going to buy those weekly buy signals. Okay, cool. That's something you could look for. Last bonus altcoin, let's take a look at Bonk. And Bonk, by the way, as far as market cap, I know it got into the low 40s overall on altcoins, and then it got into close to around 100. Right now it's a number 62 overall altcoin. Man, so Bonk, oh my God, what is this? So on the weekly, yeah, we had a buy signal. Look how high it ran. So this, we're already up in the weekly. You would have to have caught it down here at least. My God, I think we'll have to go to the daily. Here we go. Maybe this is one of those altcoins you just watch on the daily, depending on which chart you pull up. But after Bonk, let me find you a better chart. This isn't showing you the whole truth here. Bonk. Maybe Mexi is a better one. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So there were some millionaires made on Bonk on some other websites. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. And then 19. And then it went from 6 zeros, 0.19 to 4 zeros, 3.6. And if you're wondering how much that is, I'm doing the math for you quick on my calculator. That's a 190x is what my calculator's showing. So maybe someone put in $1,000 back here and they made around 200,000. Maybe. We'll see. I believe I counted those zeros right. If I didn't, I'm sorry. So, yeah, over 200, almost a 200x there. After it got into the low 40s overall, I'm talking about overall altcoins, it was like number 42 overall. Chopped around for a little bit, had a sell signal, most recent buy signal. Down here, you could have got it at 4 zeros and 12. And then recently, it's pretty much doubled again. Has it gone to the previous highs? No. This one reminds me a lot of SHIB, the last bull run. Maybe it could do something similar. What is Bonk's market cap? Its market cap is 1.46 billion. So if it's SHIB got to 50 billion. And again, we got to challenge our biases like I was telling you guys. Some of the dumbest crap will run in crypto. And so maybe we have to be open-minded and tell ourselves, well, Bonk is at a 1.46 billion market cap. SHIB got to 50 billion. Maybe I'm just going to play off Bonk's potential. And I believe, so 50 divided by 1.46, that'd be a 34x. Maybe you believe Bonk can go up another 34x from where it is right now. That's right now. So would I do that? Me personally, no. However, if you're looking to gamble a little bit in an educated way, take your own risks. You could wait for the next sell signal to play out. When that'll be, I don't know. But maybe it'll take it down to some more enticing prices. As you can see, the last sell signals. Let's measure these out. So, I mean, this is going to be a big one here. So it went 74% down from that high. And then, if you can hear my cat, he is saying hello. And then from that high, it went down 45%. And then from this high, hey, buddy, it's so good to see you. Are you saying hi to everyone? My cat Muffin says hi. Hope you are all doing well. He's an orange cat. He's a talker. He's telling you to be careful with your money. Or are you telling them to invest in the bond? I don't know. This one, 24%. So, yeah, maybe something around a 20% dip. Okay. Here we are at this fib. And if we had a 20% drop, look at that. That would take us near that 0.5. So maybe if we are to get a sell signal, you look for something around these four zeros and 17, 4 zeros and 18, somewhere in there. I could see it. I think that would fall in line with what it normally does. But again, a lot of these cryptos are going to go the way that Bitcoin goes. And I know it's enticing to want to get in. Guys, remember, as we take a look at the last 6 months, how many times have we had sharp moves like this where we just went up 14,000 here? You could say we had this move back here that was similar. This one kind of, I wouldn't quite put it there. And then right here. So in the last year, we've only had this about maybe 3 times, 4 times, I guess, if you count this. So yeah, when these do happen, you can see that we can just grind for a bit. Maybe we'll grind higher, maybe we'll grind sideways, or maybe just twice very recently we just shoot up. This creates a lot of FOMO in the markets, and that means fear of missing out. So make sure you still try to be patient, even though it's very hard to be, and possibly wait for the next sell signal. Again, I don't know if it's going to get up even higher, but even if we were just to take a look within the last month, when we do have these moves, we can go sideways for a little bit. Even if it goes up, we can go sideways for a lot. So we went up, maybe we're going to go sideways just for a bit, at least until March. The halving, something to be aware of, the halving is in April. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Something to note is that the halving, at least on this Bitcoin rainbow chart, shout out blockchaincenter.net, not sponsored. It has gone up a buy zone each time. Basically a fire sale, first halving. Second halving, buy zone. Third halving, accumulate. Fourth halving, still cheap zone. And the still cheap zone around the halving time, which is close to April 22nd, I believe. Come on, let's register. That would put us at in between 52 and 68,000. So right now, Bitcoin is right in there at 62,000. 52 to 68,000, guys, that would be, ignore all the other crap I got going on in my charts. That would be this high, this fib up here down to here. Okay, kind of halfway through the next fib. So 52 to 68,000, that would be the predicted range of the rainbow chart. Should you believe this still hold true? Who knows? Maybe we're going to get a little bit higher into that yellow zone before then. Or we might get up and then come down a little bit. As you can see around the other halvings, we can have these big dips, whether before or after. Even this halving here, there was a dip. So March can be a somewhat volatile time. Here we had COVID, and from the high to the low, I know that was a special case situation. 64% drop, that was huge. So yeah, right there we got down to like the high 3,000s from 10,000 around there. Oh, automatic. This halving, as you can see, we peaked up into it, and then from there to the, if you waited for the next big sell signal, that was a 40% drop. So no COVID there, but that was right around the halving. And then the halving before really wasn't too much of a drop here. Something, I guess we could measure that one. It's going to be so tiny. But something to know, though, with this first one, yeah, 24%, maybe it just looks smaller because of everything else, is that Bitcoin ran up, and one of my indicators has showed it. This was a pi cycle top, but the true top was over here. So maybe some people believe that was the top of Bitcoin back there. It fell 75% and then quickly shot up again. I mean, could you imagine if Bitcoin did that now? If from our current price, let's just go by where the halving is. If it went up from, man, that's a lot. Bitcoin wouldn't do this, but if you could imagine, what if Bitcoin all of a sudden doubled in price? We're at 12,000 from 60,000, and then had a 75% drop. That would be, or 12,000, I'm sorry, 60,000 to 120,000. And then all of a sudden had a 75% drop. That would be like Bitcoin going from 120,000 to 30,000, something crazy like that. So just saying, we don't get those as volatile of moves anymore. This is a logarithmic regression chart on the Bitcoin rainbow chart, as you can see by the factors of 10. And yeah, something else to know. Just Bitcoin overall, if you take it off log, something you might notice, some people have talked about a super cycle. And we had a break here, but it just looks like it's curling up, getting ready to rocket off. Kind of like 2017 back here. Sorry about all my lines, but that maybe this is the end of a super cycle. Make your own bets. I would like to just make some money in the immediate term from Bitcoin, and then roll those over into stocks that are at good value. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Checking the time here, 46 minutes. If you guys are watching, thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying the content. Again, I'm doing this for free. I'm just doing this for myself, for you guys, for the joy and love of it. And I'm just trying to pass off some knowledge to help people increase the value of their investments and to just challenge their perspective, because in the investing world, there's a lot of people with big egos and stubborn mindsets that struggle with this. And I think challenging our psychology and working on our psychology when it comes to investing is a very important thing to do to help you become a better investor. So if you take nothing away from my videos other than that, I think that's a good thing. Anyways, have a great and wonderful weekend, and hope you're all doing well. Bye-bye.